nutshell. Let's see, I think we can move on. And I'd like to start the lightning presentations with Emily Newman. Emily is the new executive director of Camber Outdoors. She comes to us from outside the industry, so I think she might have a really interesting story for us and something to inspire us to look around and see what's out there that we can emulate and bring into the outdoor industry. So, Emily, you ready?
Thank you so much, Kenji. It's great to be here. Thank you for having me here. Thank you for being so welcoming. My name is Emily Newman. The pronouns I use are she, her, hers, and I'm the new executive director for Camber Outdoors. Kenji asked me to come and introduce myself. I'm really pleased to say that I've had a chance to get to meet many of you in the last few days, and just excited to be here. I do come from outside of the industry, so I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I have spent my whole career focused on workplace and workplace inclusion, and how do you build workplaces and how do you support removal of barriers to workplaces and workplace inclusion. I began my career with an organization in Southern California that got a fair bit of national recognition because we achieved a 93% success rate with helping persistently homeless individuals to build the skills of getting and keeping their own jobs. And then we built a very large social enterprise, a $6.5 million social enterprise to support apprenticeships in that space to continue that pipeline forward. I then spent a number of years as a consultant. I helped around the I'm going to date myself, but when the Staples Center was launched, there was a concerted effort from the investors in the Staples Center not to re-experience for the community what had happened with Dodger Stadium many years ago, which effectively decimated an entire community in Los Angeles. So I worked together with the philanthropic arm of one of the investors to be very intentional around inclusion in the sort of economic boost that comes in many different forms, whether that's in forms tied to entrepreneurship, whether that's in form tied to pipeline into specific jobs at the Staples Center and so forth. But really thinking about how do you support communities in that workplace engagement and remove those barriers. Later on, I did a little bit of work with the former White House with the former president's My Brother's Keeper program, helping to export that program to being an evergreen program with the Obama Foundation. And I spent some time working inside of technology companies and helped to develop a technology to eliminate bias in the hiring process. So always around workplace, I'm passionate about and aspirational about what workplaces can look like. And it's actually what drew me into this position. I think that, as Kenji mentioned, as I'm not of the outdoors, I've been so glad and grateful to be welcomed to the outdoors. I do have I would say a late coming passion for the outdoors that really stemmed from, I am a parent of a child who struggled with specific motor coordination challenges as a kid, and so we went outside, and I'm super proud to say that for my child, being outside was very healing, and I'm also very passionate about access in that regard because I recognize that kind of access, hiking, scrambling, looking at mountains, using my son when he was 2 ran headfirst into our kitchen island every day, and we knew there was a challenge. So we moved to Colorado, and he is now a slackliner. And all because of the outdoors. So I'm personally passionate about the sort of healing power of the environment and making sure that that access is available for all parents, particularly. So Camber, just a little bit, and you mentioned sort of we've been with you for some time. Camber really needed to take a look this last year. What does that really mean? to be with people, and to be shoulder to shoulder in specifically in workplace, but among a group of peers and leaders who are doing that work. And so when I joined Camber, we looked very deeply at how our programs, with the help of some wonderful board members and my extraordinary team who are in the back, really digging in on what are those best practices in workplaces, because this industry is not the only industry that is struggling to, in a sort of fully employed and competitive marketplace, make sure that that instead of moving to technology, we're really opening that space for inclusion in access to jobs, in retention to jobs, and so forth. So we will be focused on a few things this year, and I'm really proud and thankful. I know I saw Teresa out there for co-hosting the collaborative roundtable with me the other day. We extended invitations, and we will continue to extend invitations to leaders in the nonprofit space to just make sure that we are connecting, but also thinking about how do we move to action. And for me, that was really the place that Camber needed to go. How do we support our corporate partners in moving to action? So there are a lot of, for example, statements out there, but really, what are you going to do to move forward in achieving this work? And how do we bring everyone to the table in that effort to achieve this work? So we begin with inclusion in the workplace, and talking about inclusion because everyone has a role in creating an inclusive workplace. And you will see us activated here around that role with our Camber Story Bus. It's the big yellow bus outside. If you haven't had a chance to stop by either our story bus, we have a few stories I know have already been told in here, or our story booths that are inside. You can just walk up and sort of Superman style, maybe Superwoman style, Super anyone style. You can hop in there and tell your story, and there are prompts, so you don't have to be an experienced journalist and know exactly how to sort of move through. We've got good questions in there. We'll also be bringing some excellent experience and talent from outside of the sector to talk about workplace and what's happening from a global perspective in workplaces. So I hope you'll all join us at our breakfast tomorrow. And then our programs this year are centered around specific workplace learning themes, so that we are laser focused on helping our corporate partners to have those tools and resources to move forward in building their workplaces of choice. I really believe that the flywheel, we are a strong force at 9, but nine team members at Camber, but that flywheel does not move until corporations move. And we see that already with excellence with groups like VF who are really leading forward in this work. And we want to encourage all of the corporations in this space to be doing that, to be leading forward, to be leaning on those promising practices to build those workplaces. So you can find us tomorrow at breakfast. You can also find out more on our website. We'll be hosting and bringing in and engaging folks in this room, folks from outside of the industry to lead our webinars, so that we've got some excellent education for our corporate partners, and really getting together and being thoughtful and intentional around how we stand shoulder to shoulder in this work, because we are but one organization, and we are working on one piece of this. We look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you, Emily.